and welcome inside Alumni Field for another presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan softball. I'm Alex Drain, joined by Akshay Luthra for the third and final game of a weekend series between the Michigan Wolverines and the Indiana Hoosiers. Michigan won each of the first two yesterday and Friday, looking to finish off the sweep today, and it's another beautiful one at the stadium.
Yeah, it's a fantastic day again. That's why we're outside again, because it's that beautiful. And, you know, sun's out, a little bit of a breeze, still some cloud cover. It's just perfect softball weather.
Indeed it is. Michigan wearing the Sunday maize uniforms. Indiana wearing the red tops with the white pants.
Not going to lie, Lucas said the all-whites were clean. I got to agree with him. I think the all-whites were a bit cleaner than these ones.
Yeah. We've got a just about ready to get started, so we'll go through the lineups. Indiana's got a little bit different of a batting order today than they did yesterday. Grayson Radcliffe is leading off, Gabby Jenkins second, Maddie Westmoreland third, Anika Baez fourth, Bella Norton fifth, Sarah Galovich sixth, Katie Lacefield seven, T.D. Hart eight, and Taylor Lambert nine. Lambert's been dropped to the bottom, and Westmoreland's been moved up to 3 after her 2-homer performance yesterday. For Michigan, it's Alex Storako once again in the circle, which is a bit of a surprise, but she gets ready to work. And the first pitch of today's game is right down the middle to Radcliffe for a called strike.
It's like you said, big change in the lineups. Lambert was the leadoff yesterday. Had a horrible day, 3 strikeouts, and she got penalized for it. She sent way down to the bottom.
0-1 coming to Radcliffe, off speed, right down the middle for strike number 2. Storako started yesterday's game and was very strong through 3 2/3. No hits allowed, 3 walks, but Carol Hutchins was very quick with the hook and brought Megan Bobian in to relieve her. Bobian would give up a pair of solo shots, but close it out for a 3-2 Michigan win. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swinging a line drive, base hit into left field, and Radcliffe starts this off with a solid single.
Yeah, yesterday my Virginia girls had a rough day. Not a single hit combined between either Grayson Radcliffe or Bella Norton. They decided to change that today. Leadoff hit for Grayson Radcliffe of Rockville, Virginia.
Already a very quick talk in the circle with Maddie Uden talking to Alex Storako, who steps back on, gets ready to deal to Gabby Jenkins. She's the only member of the top 3 hitters in the first 2 games that's still there. She attempts to lay down the bunt and fouls it back to the screen. Jenkins not a power hitter. Only 3 doubles, 1 triple, and no home runs this season for her, but 15 steals. She's quick and looks to get down the line in a hurry. Corners at first and third drawn in, waiting for the bunt.
And Radcliffe in her track stance like we talked about so much yesterday.
And there's the bunt laid down. Uden gets quickly to it, throw down to first. Canfield covers for an easy out. Runner gets down to second, and the Hoosiers quickly have a runner in scoring position and 1 out in the top of the first.
We talked yesterday how excited Jenkins was to get hit by a pitch. This time she's excited because her bunt worked out. It was a perfectly laid bunt, straight, going a little dribbler down the third field line. Nowhere near enough power to get to that fielder in time, and she'll advance Radcliffe to second.
So Radcliffe stands on second, and here's Maddie Westmoreland. Westmoreland, a right-handed hitter against the righty. Storako stands in there, and she takes first pitch off speed for a strike. Westmoreland for the series, really the only Indiana hitter to have sustained success. 3 for 6 on the weekend with a pair of homers yesterday. She had a homer last year when she faced Michigan. She's had the Wolverines' number over the last 2 seasons. Storako will look to limit the damage here. 0-1 pitch, swinging a line drive down the left field line, arcing and foul. She's a little out in front of that one.
Yeah, but those were a couple of no-doubt shots yesterday. One nearly hit where the camera woman was standing in center field. One went straight into the baseball field and halted play there for a few seconds. They were off the bat what I call pretty, and they were just super pretty and over the fence both times.
The 0-2 to Westmoreland, just off the plate outside. That was a good-looking pitch.
Yeah, the Michigan faithful definitely thought that was strike 3. Alexander having a short discussion with the umpire. We saw a lot of that yesterday.
So the count now 1-2. Home plate umpire is Naomi Erdahl. Tanya Gehrig down there at first base, and Trina Comfort at third. The 1-2, just a little high, I think, this time. Some really good pitches from Subject. nibbling at the, or not Subject, so Starocco nibbling at the edges, but just not getting the calls.
It is Alex Subject Day. Maybe you're just used to seeing that name everywhere.
And here's the pitch, swinging a pop-up, arcing, foul, and Alexander will not have room as it drops in about 7 or 8 rows behind home plate. So they'll do the 2-2 again.
And we have our near miss number 1 of the day. I don't know if you were listening. We have 15 near misses yesterday.
Subject, man, I just can't. Starocco count 2-2, checks the wristband. Gets ready to deliver the pitch, that one high and over the head of Westmoreland, and now the count is full. I think the issue is that Subject is standing at first, and then Starocco's right there in the circle from our angle. So, and they do look pretty similar. Both rather tall in height and the blonde hair.
They have the exact same ponytail, actually, right now, too.
Starocco gets ready, sets the 3-2 coming, swing and a miss. Got her on strikes.
That is huge. Westmoreland coming off 2 consecutive home runs in her last 2 at-bats, but Starocco was dealing yesterday, 8 strikeouts, and just like we saw yesterday, clothespin number 1 is going up on this fence.
So 2 outs now in the inning, and she'll be facing Anika Baez. Baez is one of the hitters to worry about with Starocco because of 6 homers for Baez this season, and she swings and misses on the first pitch. Indiana's had trouble with both Beaubien and Starocco's mix of fastball and then off speed.
Baez was trying to turn that into home run number 7 on the year. Huge cut at that.
Starocco wipes off the ball on the right pant leg. Subject and Uden straight up at the corners. The 0-1 pitch swung on and popped up, arcing foul. Alexander will not have room. That one drops in.
And it is near miss number 2 on the day. Quick start.
But just like that, ahead in the count 0-2 is Starocco. She's been seducing a lot of swings from the Hoosiers. This has been pretty much all in the strike zone for her so far, really pounding the zone. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And just like that, a very quick first inning, a single, but no harm done, and a couple of swinging strikeouts end the inning. We go to the bottom of the first. No score between Michigan and Indiana. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, most of the strikeouts yesterday were swinging strikeouts. There were very few strikeouts looking, and I think that just shows like how much she has over the hitters. They are trying to swing, they're trying to send it out of this field, and they just can't. Starocco is just on fire against this Indiana team. As clothespin number 2 has now gone up.
So out come the Indiana defense. It's going to be Emily Gooden in the circle. She got the start on Friday. It was Tara Trainer in the circle for Indiana yesterday. Gooden and Trainer, very similar numbers on the year. Last year it was pretty much the Tara Trainer show, but Gooden's taken her play to another level, an ERA of 2.01 entering today's game and a 1.17 whip. She did give up her fair share of hits in the game on Friday. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 runs came across, and just 2 strikeouts for Gooden. So Michigan was able to find success against her. And Natalie Peters had a 2-run double off the wall, and Lexi Blair had a 2-run homer off her on Friday. So we'll see if Michigan can have the same success against Gooden.
Yeah, well, with Trainer yesterday, it was the full 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned. So pretty similar in terms of how each pitcher did against the Michigan faithful. I guess we'll see if Michigan can have the same success they did on Friday, or if Gooden learned something from how she did on Friday and can hold the Michigan batters better this time. A little interesting. The warm-up for Indiana didn't look that good. A lot of missed balls there. I don't know how much we could actually look into a warm-up, considering there was an extra long warm-up before the first inning because they go into the field. A meeting before the game starts for the pitchers this time. We saw a lot of meetings yesterday. I made a comment about how many meetings there were. The entire infield along with Gooden this time. The outfielders just enjoying the beautiful weather. And the catcher was standing behind the home plate for most of it, having a nice discussion with the umpire.
So leading off the bottom of the first, it'll be Faith Canfield, followed by Natalie Peters and Lexi Blair. Canfield gets ready to face the deliveries from Gooden, and she takes pitch a little high. This has been the Michigan order pretty much for the last about 3 weeks at this point. Peters, Canfield, Peters, Blair, Subject, Nemitz, Uden, Hoganrod, Alexander, and Rodriguez. 1-0 pitch to Canfield, swinging a ground ball to second base. Easy play, flip over there from Galovich to Baez, and that is a first out.
You're quick out, and that's what you're looking for if you're in Indiana.
Canfield struggled against Gooden on Friday, 0 for 4. Was very over-eager to get her swings in, and Carol Hutchins was none too happy with some of those swings on Friday. She redeemed herself yesterday with a strong 2 for 3 day, but now gets sat down very early. Peters has had a great weekend as she digs in 4 for 5 in the 2 games combined. It was her senior day on Friday. First pitch to Peters is a strike. Peters has gotten the average all the way up to 330 and the on base to 450 as she is capable of drawing walks. 11 on the season to just 6 strikeouts. A great contact slap hitter. 0-1 pitch to Peters. She swings and taps it down the first base line. This is going to be trouble for Indiana. Safe at first base. Coming in off first was Baez, and she was going to have to make a very hard play, and the speed of Peters allows her to beat it out.
Ridiculously similar to another play. Last time they were trying to bunt yesterday, and it went down the first base line, and the runner beat the throw. Exact same thing here. Peters tried to hit this time, went down the first base line, and she beat the throw. Another infield single.
So Peters stands there on first base. She is a threat to steal. And here's Lexi Blair at the plate. Blair 2 for 6 on the weekend. Couple hits on Friday, was 0 for yesterday, and she takes strike 1. Blair 397 in her batting average, a star freshman for the Wolverines. Freshman out of Winter Garden, Florida.
Yeah, that rough day yesterday dropped her average under 400, but it was 404 going into yesterday, actually.
0-1 coming to Blair. She takes that one high, and back to first base is Peters. Blair came in with her scouting report being sort of a Natalie Peters type in terms of what seemed like a speed and contact hitter, but she's got 4 homers on the year. She has a fair share of power and 13 doubles. And she still has the contact similar to Peters, just 3 strikeouts and 116 at-bats this year for Blair. 1-1 coming. She swings and hits that one hard into right field, back to the track, but hauling it in there is Gabby Jenkins. Great contact for Blair, but just not quite deep enough.
It was great contact, but then again, off the bat, it never looked like enough contact. It was pretty straightforward, just short of the warning track in right field, straight to the fielder. Didn't need to do much work there. Unfortunate, great contact like you were saying, but not far enough.
So here's Alex Subject. She was the talk of the team entering the weekend with her absolute tear against Rutgers last weekend, but struggled so far in the first 2 games, 0 for 6. But on her senior day, a chance to make an impact here with the runner on first and 2 outs. She takes the pitch a little high and tight.
Yeah, on Alex Subject day, maybe she can turn it all around in this series.
1-0 the count on her. Peters still down there at first. 1-0 pitch is a strike. Michigan hasn't been too aggressive on the base paths yet this weekend. Didn't have any steals on Friday. Gooden peers in at the catcher, Bella Norton. Gets ready to deliver the 1-1, and that one is hit hard by Subject back to center field, and it is off the glove of the center fielder, Lambert. Grounding third and heading home is Peters. She will score, and Michigan takes a 1-0 lead. That one to dead center. I think you could call it a double. I think you could also call it an error because
it'll be ruled a double.
Yeah, it's a friendly scoring here at home, but Lambert misjudged that ball because she took 2 steps in and realized it was going to be over her head, and so she started to backtrack. Still looked like she could have made the play, but it was off her glove, then off the wall, and Subject has what is ruled a double, and Michigan takes the 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first.
It's funny, you said almost exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
She definitely misjudged that when she stepped forward. When she went back, I really thought she was going to get it because I didn't think it was going to go far enough to get over the wall, and it didn't. But it went off her glove, got the double, and it was very easy to come home from first after that.
Dead center's about 222. That was probably around 210 would be my guess, 215. Just a tad in front, and now Mackenzie Nemitz takes ball 1 high. Nemitz, the designated player, stands in there. A left-handed batter against the righty Gooden. Subject stands at second. 1-0 pitch is a strike. Nemitz hasn't had the best weekend ever, but she'll look to break out of the slump similar to what Subject just did.
Yeah, Alex Subject saw her name on the board the entire day and decided she was going to have a better day. And she proved it with her first at-bat.
1-1 coming to Nemitz. Here's the pitch. She swings and pops that one up shallow right field. Does there room? It's going to get past the right fielder, Jenkins, and keep rolling. Nemitz heading to second. She's rounding second, going to third, and she is safe. Subject scores, and it's 2-0 Wolverines.
And they'll rule that one a triple. It never looked like it had enough legs to get to the right fielder. It didn't. She still made a fantastic effort there, but when she got down, she couldn't get her body behind it. It went off her glove into foul territory. And when you're in right field and the throw's at third, you're probably not going to get there.
I think I would rule that a single and then second and third off an error on the right fielder.
I probably would have too, but it said triple on the big board.
Yeah, I know. That's it. I mean, again, it's the home. The scorer is a fan of the home team, so you're always going to get those friendly scores. But because if Jenkins comes in standing up, it's a bloop single, and the run scores, but that's all it is. But by laying out and letting it get past her, it rolled all the way down the line and allowed Nemitz, who is not the fastest runner of all time, get over to third. And already some danger for Indiana, trailing 2-0 in the bottom of the first. A runner standing on third, and Madison Uden with a chance to collect an RBI and put Michigan up 3-0 with 2 outs.
Yeah, actually a couple back-to-back meetings. There was one with the infield and the pitching and catching staff, and then Indiana coaches realized that and decided they wanted to have one with the coaches. So one coach with the infield, one coach with the pitcher and catcher.
Well, in a conversation between one member of the coaching staff and the home plate umpire, Naomi Erdahl, not sure what the discussion was. I didn't see anyone be inserted into the game, but conversation about something as Uden gets ready to dig in. And now here's Carol Hutchins. She's coming in to talk to Erdahl about something as well.
A lot of discussion with the umpire yesterday. It looks like nothing has changed.
So Uden gets ready to dig back in, taps the plate once, and stares in there at Gooden. And she gets ready to deliver the first pitch. It's a called strike. Michigan's already gotten to Gooden here in the bottom of the first with 3 hits for 2 earned runs, a double, a triple, and a single in this inning. A Uden homer would finish off the inning cycle. The 0-1. She swings and hits that one back to the screen. And speaking of home runs, Uden had one in the game yesterday. It was her 3rd of the season, which matches her total from last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I talk about the pretty hits. That was a pretty one. It went way over left center, bounced into the baseball field just for good measure, like I said. It was a great hit.
So here comes 0-2 to Uden. She swings and misses, and Gooden is able to get the strikeout to end the inning, but not before Michigan does some damage there, and they take a 2-0 lead over Indiana in the bottom of the first. And now we will head to the top of the second. Michigan 2, Hoosiers 0. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Hutch looked a little bit upset with that last swing, shaking her head the entire way through to the dugout. Threw something onto the dirt on her way in. Yeah, definitely not happy with that final strike.
Well, it definitely looked like a very nervous swing from Uden. It was not a confident-looking swing at all. Game time temperature today is 64 degrees, and I'd say partly cloudy. Phone says mostly sunny, so either way. Feels like 63 degrees, winds 9 miles an hour blowing east. So very, very solid weather day here today after finally battling through the winter. This is what the players always talk about and what they wait all weekend or wait all winter for. When you come to Michigan to play college softball, it's not like playing at Florida or LSU where you get to practice all winter outdoors in the sun. In Michigan, you gotta practice in those indoor facilities on the turf. Nothing like being outdoors when it's finally springtime.
I've always wondered what's the transition between the indoors and the outdoors.
Yep.
But the alumni band is saying "Don't Stop Believing," so I think I'm going to listen to them.
The Alumni Band out there in the top of the bleachers in right center. It is a packed house here today. The first and third baseline bleachers all filled up. The outfield completely full. The only spot where there's a little sparse is behind home plate. And there's a pop-up arcing foul, and it's going to hit the roof and then go flying down there onto the concourse.
Near miss number 3 on the day, as I see a couple pitchers in the Indiana bullpen currently.
Yeah. Bella Norton stands in, the number 5 hitter for the Hoosiers. Storako gets ready to deliver. That pitch is a strike on the outside part of the plate. Commands looked very good for Alex today. Mixing her pitches while hitting all the corners.
Yeah, Bella Norton, my girl from McLean, Virginia, just like me.
The junior is the catcher. She started all 3 games behind the plate for the Hoosiers. 0-2 pitch, just a tad high.
Michigan faithful wanted strike 3 on that, and Katie Alexander having a sideways discussion with the umpire, my favorite kind.
Well, Storako, I mean, she's painting the edges right now. It's just not getting the calls she wants, but certainly no issue with command right now. You can tell this is where she wants to put it. 1-2 pitch is swung on, tapped between Norton's legs. Norton's rather short, which is rather common for a catcher.
Keep out of sight.
Yeah, I didn't think about it until you said it, but just seeing her standing next to Katie Alexander, it is a very big contrast.
Yeah, she's 5'3", and that's a big comparison to Storako, who's 5'11". That pitch is just a tad inside, 2-2. Bobian's more of a normal height, but Storako is quite tall, which not as much of an advantage in softball as it is in baseball with the underhand delivery on the windmill, whereas baseball you can pound it from above, but still an advantage when you're a pitcher. The 2-2, got her, strike 3. Went to the off speed and froze Norton for strikeout number 3.
There weren't many strikeouts looking yesterday, and when there were, the home plate umpire was very emphatic in making that call. Umpire today a little bit more subdued, but still a fantastic strikeout there. So as clip-on number 3 comes up.
There's Sarah Galovich digging in now for Indiana. I have to say, through the first 5 batters we've seen, this is Storako at her best, with mixing the heat and the off-speed there to freeze Norton, painting the edges. Here's a pop-up, arcing, and it's going to go foul. Looks like it'll get back into the concourse.
Yep, near miss number 4 on the day.
Storako steps back into the circle and count 0-1. She's been getting ahead of basically every hitter she's faced so far.
That was a big hint yesterday. The hitter she got ahead of, you knew she was good.
There's a swing and a miss.
When she fell behind in the count, she struggled a bit. She had a couple walks, a hit by pitch, I believe, and no hits. But yeah, whenever she would fall behind, it would almost certainly lead to a walk following that.
So now count 0-2 on Galovich. Storako sets and delivers that pitch, which is down and in. Galovich, a senior, playing second base from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Katie Lacefield on deck for the Hoosiers. Storako looks in at Jennifer Brundage, the Michigan pitching coach, in the dugout, and then gets ready to deliver her 1-2 offering. Swing and a liner right back to the screen.
Straight back, meaning she just missed it.
Yeah, just got a piece. And Alexander picks it up, throws it back. Storako's been using those rise balls quite a bit. The first strikeout, or the last strikeout in the first inning to Baez was one of those rise balls. Got her chasing high. 1-2 pitch is too high, and now it's 2-2. Galovich struggling this year at 227, the batting average, but she does take her fair share of walks to get the OBP to 352, but no real power. 2 doubles, no triples, no homers. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got her. On another off-speed pitch, chasing as it was tailing down and away, and that is strikeout number 4 for Alex.
As the 4th clip of the day goes on, it's been a beautiful day for Storako again on back-to-back starts.
So Lacefield digs in. Storako wipes the ball off on the right pant leg. And then that pitch a little high to Lacefield.
Indiana dugout trying to get into it a little earlier than they did yesterday. They only really got into the game once Westmoreland hit that first home run.
Michigan outfield playing pretty normal depth, maybe a little deeper in right for Hoganrod. And that pitch tap foul by Lacefield. Lacefield, the lefty hitter, does have quite a bit of power. 7 doubles and 5 homers on the year for her. Canfield and Rodriguez deep in the hole. Subject and Uden straight up at the corners. Count 1-1 on Lacefield. The junior from Illinois. That one a little high.
Yeah, it's interesting. It almost looks like 3 rows, where first the pitcher and third are in one line, the second and shortstop are in one line, and the 3 outfielders in one line.
So the count 2-1 on Lacefield. Here's the pitch. She check swing. Did she go? Appeal down. No. And now the count 3-1. Yeah, that was right on the edge there.
Yeah, that's as close as it gets from our angle. I thought she went.
So count 3-1. Storako has fallen behind the first hitter of the day. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That's a called strike. And now coming back to load the count full. See what she can pull out of the bag to try and get the 5th strikeout of the game.
Yeah, I believe it's our first full count of the day for Storako, so it's the pressure pitch, the payoff pitch as they call it.
3-2 the count. Winds up, delivers, swings, and pops it up in the infield. Canfield just 3 steps backwards to the edge of the outfield, and she hauls it in. So a 1-2-3 inning for Alex Storako, who has 4 strikeouts on the day, just 1 hit allowed so far, and we go to the bottom of the second. Michigan 2, Indiana 0. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
That was a fantastic inning by Storako, and I think it was really important to see her fall behind in a count, get to that 3-1 count, and still get the out. Because yesterday, that's what she struggled with. She got to 3-1, the hitters had a bit of freedom, and a lot of the time they didn't even need to worry about it. They just took the next pitch, and it would be a ball 4. They would walk. Today, she got to the 3-1 count, had a perfect pitch to get to 3-2, had another great pitch afterwards, couldn't do anything with it but pop it up to the infield, and 3 outs. What more can you ask for?
Well, Michigan baseball is up 2-0 on Minnesota in the game over at Ray Fisher. Jimmy Kerr just hit a home run off the scoreboard, apparently. And now we've got some Alex Subject trivia questions going on the Jumbotron. The contestant will have to answer a question to win a prize pack.
You want to ask the question?
Yeah, the question is, what position has Alex Subject not played at Michigan? First base, pitcher, third base, or catcher? Yeah, answer is pitcher.
And there's a loud yelling from the crowd.
Yeah,
the announcer heard them.
That one doesn't take a lot of knowledge to know.
No, it does not.
If your 3 options are infield positions and then the last one is pitcher, it's pretty safe to guess pitcher.
Yeah, I figured that one out really quickly, and this is my first year covering softball. So, second game, and I could figure that one out.
Well, Alex Subject's had an interesting career at Michigan because she started as a backup catcher back in the day. Her first year was the 2016 season where Michigan made the Women's College World Series, and she was pretty much just a role player, the backup catcher on that team. But she was kind of seen as the catcher of the future when she entered the team, as Haley Hoganrod fouls the first pitch back. But then Katie Alexander, who was a walk-on, sort of came out of nowhere and seized the catching job, and Subject was pushed out of that catcher role and then spent a couple seasons bouncing around the infield before this season she finally locked down a starting job at first. 0-1 on Hoganrod. She shows bunt and pulls it back, and it's 1-1.
It's always great to hear those walk-on stories where no one's really expecting anything out of you, and then all of a sudden you become crucial starter, big role in the team, and even pushing the star of the future off her favorite position into the other places.
1-1, Hoganrod swings in a high pop-up into shallow center field. Coming on and calling off the infielders to make the grab is Lambert.
Great communication there by Lambert because both shortstop and second base were heading back. Looked like it could have potentially been a collision, which we did see one of yesterday, actually, behind the plate. And she just ran in straight from center field, called him off, they backed off, and easy catch in the end.
So here's Katie Alexander. She digs in. The batting average still just a tad below 200. It's been a rough senior season for her offensively. Still the defensive stalwart as ever behind the plate, and she takes a pitch outside. The big thing for Alexander is despite the struggles in terms of average and on base, she does have the 4 homers, and some of those have been very crucial on a team that doesn't have a ton of power.
Yeah, the same way we saw Blair struggle yesterday and fall below 400. Alexander's struggle yesterday brought her below 200. Not what you're looking for out of any batter, quite frankly.
There's a pitch down and away, and now the count 2-0. Alexander can get something good to hit here.
Hitters count.
Yep.
Like I said yesterday, 2-0 and 3-1.
2-0 pitch. She swings and pops that one up shallow left field. Coming on and making the play there is T.D. Hart. And very quickly, 2 outs as Natalia Rodriguez checks back in.
Yeah, she heard me. She went for the big hit, but cannot get solid contact. And again, good communication this time by the left fielder coming in, calling off shortstop and getting an easy catch.
Rodriguez 2 for 3 on the weekend as she steps in.
Rodriguez, great plays yesterday. She put, I think, a couple of butt hits down and used her wheels to get through. And, man, she's fast.
Well, that's her secret to success. A lot of sacrifice bunts and a lot of bunt singles for Rodriguez. 1-0 on her. She takes another pitch high. She had 1 extra base hit all of last season, has 2 this year, a double, and then the monumental home run to put Michigan ahead of Washington in what ended up being a top 10 win for the Wolverines in Fullerton. One of the most random hits of the season, 3-0. Rodriguez is a classic slap hitter as that pitch is low. But she was about around 260 or so last year. Her average now up to almost 330 entering the game today, which isn't super unusual. Before the season, Morris Fabry made a comparison between her and Abby Ramirez from back in the day. Ramirez was sort of a 200 hitter, and then her last 3 years for Michigan was over 300 as a slapper. So Rodriguez a bit on that trajectory right now. 3-0 pitch she takes for a called strike.
No surprise, a Michigan batter taking a 3-0 pitch. Right before that pitch, there was a quick meeting between the catcher and the pitcher.
Count 3-1 now, and Rodriguez takes that one for another strike, and the count runs full. Like most slappers, Rodriguez doesn't really strike out at all. 7 strikeouts in 79 at-bats this year, 7 walks in 79 at-bats. So
and 7 stolen bases. It's a lucky 777 on that scoreboard right now.
3-2 pitch fouled back to the screen. Rodriguez, just a sophomore, as of right now seems to have the shortstop job locked down for the foreseeable future, though there will be spots at second and first opening up next year for some of the younger Michigan infielders, Gianna Carasoni and Morgan Overitis to nab. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And an awkward half swing there from Rodriguez, and able to get through that inning quickly for the Hoosiers. And now we go to the third. Our score, Michigan 2, Indiana nothing.
Hutch not looking as angry while walking off, but not looking happy in any way, shape, or form.
Well, Michigan's got the early lead, and with the way Straka's been pitching, you have to feel good so far, but you always want to check on insurance runs at some point.
Absolutely. We saw how crucial that was yesterday, that Mackenzie Uden home run, which we just thought would make it 3-0, make the game easy, ended up being the decider after Westmoreland hit 2 solo shots. A 3-2 game, way closer than Michigan was hoping for.
Well, this game does have big Big Ten implications, at least for Michigan. Indiana is currently 3-5 in the Big Ten, and the way that the top dogs are playing, that probably has already eliminated them from regular season contention. But Michigan at 8 at the top of the pack got some help yesterday from Illinois. Illinois split a doubleheader with Minnesota yesterday, so the Gophers dropped to 8-1, their first loss in Big Ten play. Northwestern still 8-0, probably going to finish off a sweep against Nebraska today. So getting this sweep against Indiana would be very crucial. Michigan, if you look at the rest of their schedule, they've got 2 very easy series against Penn State and Maryland to end the season. A couple games against Michigan State mixed in. The Spartans are no threat this year. So really, how Michigan's regular season record in the Big Ten finishes out is going to be based on the next 2 weekends at Ohio State and at Illinois. Those teams are good but not great. If they can limit it to just 2 losses, I think they'll have a very good shot to win the regular season.
Yeah, Illinois did give Michigan help, but at the same time, they gave themselves confidence. So that's going to be a little bit more difficult when Michigan goes to Illinois to play them in a series.
So we get ready for the top of the third. There's a strike taken by T.D. Hart. It'll be 7-8-9, Hart, Lambert, and Radcliffe here in the top of the third for Storako.
I believe that's 8-9-1, actually.
Oh, yeah, right. 8-9-1.
Because there was 1 hit.
Yeah. 0-1 to Hart. Check swing. No.
Yeah, most definitely did not go on that one.
Pretty clear cut, and the count evens at 1-1. Hart started all 3 games this weekend for Indiana.
Quick check at the wristband by both pitcher and catcher on that one.
1-1 pitch. Check swing, and that time she went. And the count is 1-2. T.T. Hart is tied for the shortest player on the Indiana roster at 5'2". From New Palestine, Indiana, a freshman outfielder starting in left this weekend. 1-2 pitch coming and a soft tapper to short. Rodriguez got to hurry. A nice extension from subject to collect that one for a 6-3 putout, and there's 1 out in the inning.
Yeah, a couple of awkward situations. It had a big first bounce and then kind of rolled along its way. And then the throw was kind of an in-between height, not easy to pick up, but great play by both shortstop and first base, and they'll get the out.
So 1 out now as Taylor Lambert digs in. She's had a rough weekend. Dropped in the batting order today. She lays down a bunt. This is a good one. Storako's going to have no play, and Lambert is able to beat it out. That one just died right in front of home plate, and no one was really expecting it, as Lambert is more of a power hitter with 7 doubles and 4 triples.
Yeah, I've talked about the pretty hits. That was a pretty butt. It landed and really did not move very much. The 3 different fielders had a chance on it, and that's how perfectly in between all of them it was. And in the end, not even a throw from Storako. That's how little of a chance she had. And we see the track stance from Lambert.
Yep. So here's Grayson Radcliffe as they flip back to the top of the order. She takes a pitch outside. She has one of Indiana's 2 hits today. It was a very solid single back to lead off the game in the top of the first, but was stranded on second. The 1-0 coming. She swings and misses right through that one. And the count evens at 1-1.
Yeah, for those listening yesterday, we know that there's 2 Virginia girls, Radcliffe one of them. She did not go to my rival high school. She did go to a school in my district, though. They dominated us in everything sporting related, so I hope that doesn't happen today.
1-1 pitch off speed, taken for a called strike, and now the count goes to 1-2. Softball wearing the home maize jerseys, the alternate maize jerseys, rather. Baseball, where they're wearing the sort of cream-colored throwbacks. 1-2 pitch coming. Radcliffe hits that one hard. Backtrack wall. Goodbye. And Indiana has tied the game at 2. Grayson Radcliffe gets her 6th homer of the season. And this game just got more interesting.
I always talk about the pretty hits. That was pretty much no doubt right off the bat. It wasn't a very high ball, but it was kind of flat, but went right over the fence, no question. And like I talked about, they were better at us than everything sport-related for a reason. For those who are confused, that is Marshall High School. If you've ever seen the movie Remember the Titans, the state championship in the movie was against Ed Henry's Marshall team. It turns out that wasn't actually the state final, though, but it was a great game in real life.
So there's 1 out in the inning for Gabby Jenkins. She takes a pitch high. And the tough thing for Storako is that came in a 1-2 count. Radcliffe's first hit was in, I believe, an 0-2 count, just unable to put away Grayson Radcliffe while ahead in the count. Here's the 1-0, swing and grounded foul down the first base side.
Yeah, a bit of the exact opposite of what we saw yesterday. Yesterday we saw her fault whenever she fell behind Storako. It would be trouble. And this time she's been ahead a couple times and allowed 2 back-to-back hits to Radcliffe.
Oh, the count 1-1. That pitch rises high. Storako looks into the dugout after falling behind 2-1. Here's the pitch. She swings and lines that one into right field, but a nice play by Haley Hoganrod to cut that one off right away and stop what could have been a double, as now Indiana's got 3 straight hits, 2 of them very solid contact.
Yeah, that energy in that Indiana dugout that we talked about that was a little lacking yesterday, it is right up there. And guess who's coming? The scary one, Westmoreland, who the absolute tallest player, without a doubt, it seems like, on the team, and who hit 2 home runs yesterday. But before that, we got a meeting. It's Hutch talking with Storako.
And that means she's just trying to settle her down because Jennifer Brundage is the one to come out when it's something mechanical. So Hutch is trying to right the ship right now.
I mean, when you got 3 back-to-back hits with the player that hit 2 home runs yesterday coming up, I would understand Hutch's plan here.
So you come in and talk to settle him down, and then you go from there.
As Hail to the Victors is being played by the Alumni Band.
Michigan
crowd
trying
gets
to
into it.
Get some more energy into the stadium after the crowd is quieted down a little bit.
And we got a track stance.
Yep, over down there at second, or at first, trying to steal second is Jenkins. She goes back as there's a pitch high to Westmoreland.
Yeah, I don't think Storako is going to try and give Westmoreland anything too right over the middle to hit because, well, Bobian saw what that does yesterday.
1-0 count. There's the pitch, fouled back.
Near miss number 5 nearly crashed into the Ticketers. They duck and covered.
Well, you know, that's the interesting thing for Storako is the inconsistency in how quickly a start can go from completely in control to a little off the rails. They're trying to get back on the right track here. 1-1 count. And there's a called strike outside corner. That's a nice pitch.
We talked about Storako's home run problem both on air and in the podcast. It came to the fore right there.
Yep.
This Indiana team tends to be full of power hitters, along with speedsters.
Here's the 1-2 to Westmoreland. Swing and a miss. That's a big out for Alex Storako, and now 2 down is that much closer to escaping the inning.
That was huge. Big strikeout. Get that big second out. Get Westmoreland out. Break that string of consecutive hits, and get a clip on number 5 on the fence, just for good measure.
So here's Anika Baez at the plate. She's also a power hitter, 6 homers on the year for her. Baez struck out swinging back in the first. She is susceptible to the strikeout, and she checks her swing there. Did not go.
Close one. Very close one there, but first base umpire this time says nope.
Baez, a first baseman. Not a high OBP player, but the power is the reason that she bats cleanup in the Indiana order. Count 1-0, swings and pops that one up high into the infield. Rodriguez moves over to her right into shallow left field, and she makes the play. So Storako surrenders a 2-run homer to Grayson Radcliffe that ties the game at 2, but she's able to battle through it and send the hitters back up in the bottom of the third. Our score, Michigan 2, Indiana 2.
Yeah, that was actually a better play than it just looked like for Rodriguez, because that went pretty high in the air, and the wind decided right then that it wanted to swirl.
Yeah, the wind's picked up the last 3-4 minutes.
So it was swirling a bit, kind of kept just drifting away from Rodriguez a little bit. She kept with it, made sure it stayed in her glove, and ended that top half of the inning.
Michigan baseball continues to lead Minnesota 2-0. That's a huge matchup for Big Ten implications, as those are the two best teams in the Big Ten, and if they can take 2 out of 3 from the Gophers, they would get an early leg up in the Big Ten chase. Both softball and baseball have great opportunities to win Big Ten regular season titles this year, but the one team standing in the way in both sports are the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Yeah, it's funny because yesterday as I was on coverage, they hit a home run. Today as I'm on coverage, they hit a home run. Maybe I need to do this more often when baseball's playing.
Yeah, Minnesota's always had great baseball and softball over the past 10 or so years. They were the baseball team last year for Minnesota, hosted a regional, which is pretty rare for a Big Ten baseball team. They won it, made it into the Supers. It was a great season for them. Which is good to see because the Gophers not too strong in basketball or football.
Yeah, definitely not. Those are definitely not their best sports.
So here we go in the bottom of the third. It's important to note that the Hoosiers have made a change in the circle. Tara Traynor into the game, something we did not pick up on in the last inning.
Oh yeah, I completely missed that.
The hook was very quick for Emily Gooden in this game, and there's another second pitch strike, count 1-1 to Canfield as we are back to the top of the order to start the bottom of the third.
Yeah, like I said, I saw a couple pitchers in the Indiana bullpen going into the last inning.
Yep.
And I guess they decided that that first inning wasn't quite good enough for Gooden. So they switched. That was actually an unintended pun. I apologize for how bad that was. So Tara Traynor's in now.
2-1 pitch to Canfield out in front of it, and now the count evens at 2-2. Peters on deck, and then Blair is the top of the order, gets ready to try and put Michigan back on top. Cloud cover starting to really ramp up, but no rain projected until the evening, and Canfield hits that one right into the glove of Anika Baez, leaping into the air to save a double from Faith Canfield, and there's the first out.
That looked like it was going to be a liner straight down the foul line, and Anika Baez said no thank you and just jumped up in the air and cut it off right at first base. Peters up now. She did get a hit her very first at bat, so
yeah, she continues her hot weekend. 5 for 6 for Peters. Stepping back on after a first pitch ball.
And now you can hear the Michigan dugout getting excited.
The 1-0 to Peters. She swings, pops that one up, arcing foul, and there's not going to be room for the third baseman. Lacefield lands over in that sort of fan engagement area down the left field line.
Yeah, near miss number 6 on the day.
Peters steps out, take a couple practice swings, and dig back in. Indiana 2 runs on 4 hits, Michigan 2 runs on 3 hits. Peters takes that one high, count to 2-1.
Yeah, very high, almost over Peters' head. Peters taking a lot of time in between pitches.
Yeah. 2-1 coming. She swings line that one. Right off the head of Traynor, but quick throw to first and gets her. And great play there by the shortstop Radcliffe to still get the out, but Traynor now is taking the mask off, and the coaching staff for Indiana coming right in immediately to talk about this.
Yeah, that was huge power. I thought that was going to straight up the middle for an easy base hit. Instead, it went straight off Tara Traynor's face. She does wear the face mask. Yeah. I'm sure that took a lot of the impact, but it almost seemed like she was clutching the ear. It might have got off the side of her head.
Yeah, that was going to be a line drive single into center field if it does not make contact with Traynor in conversation with the coaching staff. Indiana Traynor is 5'7" and just tall enough to be in the way of that liner.
Yeah, I have to make another unintentional pun. Traynor is being seen to by the trainer.
Yeah. A long conversation here. You have to think there's perhaps some concussion stuff that might have to be done.
Yeah, as a guy who's had 4 concussions, I know how scary they can be. I know how much you want to avoid them and how much you want to make sure to take someone out of the game in case it is a concussion. I do think that face mask is really helpful, and I'm really glad that they let the pitchers wear the face mask now, because there was a while there that they weren't.
Long conversation continues. This has gone on now almost 2 minutes, and Naomi Erdahl coming out to talk to Tara Trainer and the coaching staff. She's putting the mask back on. Looks like she's going to be okay, I think. But the coaching staff still hasn't walked away. I think they're going to give her some practice pitches, would be my guess.
Yeah,
nope,
like
the coaching staff is walking away with the trainer staying out there, so I think there is going to be a few warm-up pitches for her.
This crowd here appreciating the guts, even Hutch giving some applause on that one. So, yeah, very happy to see. Trainer looks like she has the same speed with these practice pitches. Yeah, she looks just fine.
Well, it's very, unlucky inning so far for Michigan.
Definitely.
They very easily could be up 3-2 if the Canfield ball gets past Baez for a double and then the Peters one gets up the middle, because they've hit 2 rockets this inning.
Those were powerful shots that on pretty much any other day would be fantastic, pretty, as I would always say, base hits. Instead, they're 2 outs.
They've just picked the wrong spots. So 2 outs now for Lexi Blair. She flew out to right field, a really good hit the first time up, just couldn't get it far enough. Stares in there at Trainer. First pitch is off speed for a strike.
Oh, was not expecting that off speed.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Blair was either. She didn't even swing.
Frozer, and the count 0-1. Bottom of the 3rd inning here. The pitch, she swings and lines that one. Base hit into the gap.
And
she's going to head to second, off the wall, and Blair will motor in with a stand-up double. Michigan continues to make great contact in this inning.
Finally, some luck going their way. That one didn't go directly to the fielder, and in fact, it was perfectly placed in the gap. When it gets to the wall, it's most likely going to be a double. And finally, that'll break the shackles a little bit for Blair. She was not having a great weekend.
She stands on second and Subject to the plate now. If you're a Trainer, you got to be careful here with the power of Subject, who takes the first pitch outside. Blair with the speed on second will probably score on anything into the outfield, especially going on contact with 2 outs.
Yeah, Subject had that double to straightaway center field off the center fielder's glove last time. So, on Alex Subject day, can she keep her great day going?
1-0 off speed. That's a good pitch from Trainer to even the count at 1-1.
And it looks like Gooden's heading to the bullpen again. Maybe they don't want to risk Trainer a little bit longer. In fact, there's another pitcher already in the bullpen.
Someone already is warming up. 1-1 to Subject is a little high, and she lays off. Count 2-1. Yeah, Gooden's headed down there. I think it might be Josie Wood, who came into the game on Friday, that might be down there warming up already. 2-1 to Subject, off speed for another called strike. Trainer really mixing the tempo right now.
Yeah, I normally say pretty when I'm talking about the hits. That was a pretty pitch. That was fantastic off speed out of the hand. Confused the hitter.
2-2 pitch. Subject hits it deep to left field. Back, track, wall, goodbye, home run!
It is Alex Subject day for a reason.
Alex Subject clubs a 2-run homer. All that contact Michigan was making in the first two batters, not getting any luck. Well, they make no mistake there. A double and a home run for a Subject, and Michigan back up 2 runs, 4-2 in the bottom of the 3rd.
In the words of the Dark Knight, she makes her own luck.
Yep.
No question there. She just hit it off the bat, and I always talk about pretty. Follows a pretty pitch with a very pretty hit, and that is a home run. Alex Subject, what a day on Alex Subject Day. That's what you dream about.
So 2 outs in the inning, and Mackenzie Nemitz steps up to the plate. She's late on that swing.
Yeah, she had that questionably ruled triple the first time, and Hutch wants to have a conversation with her after that huge swing on pitch 1.
Yeah, it really didn't seem like she saw the ball well there. It was way late. Count 0-1 on Nemitz. The unheralded senior who has stepped up to seize the role of designated player from St. Clair Shores. The sister of one of the great pitchers in Michigan softball history. Mostly been a bench player for her 3 seasons, but has had an impact out of nowhere in her senior year.
Very quickly into an 0-2 count, though.
Yep, gonna have to battle back here against Trainer. Stares in there and gets ready. Lever the 0-2 pitch, swings and fouls that one over all of the people down the third baseline and into the concourse.
They were ready, they wanted it, but instead it'll end up being near miss number 7 on the day. As the bullpen, a couple pitchers continue. Oh, there's a timeout called. What just happened? That was the first
there
base
was a
coach.
ball from the bullpen was thrown into left field, and Bonnie Thole spotted that from her first base position and then asked the umpire at first base for time. Yeah, I don't know how that one got from the bullpen into left field, but it did.
Yeah, that took a crazy bounce
Yeah.
if that's what it did. Bonnie Thole, great eyes over there at first base, spotting that all the way in deep left field.
So count 0-2 on Nemitz. She takes that one down and away. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, the dugout making some noise. They got the crowd to make some noise. Let's see if Nemitz can feed off of that energy.
Here comes the 1-2 offering down in the zone. Check swing did not go.
Most definitely did
yeah,
not
that
go.
was pretty clear cut, and the count evens at 2-2.
Hutch yelling out a few more instructions to Nemitz.
And that one skips in.
Yeah, that one just barely halfway to home plate. Not a good pitch in any way, shape, or form, especially in 2-2. You're hoping for a little bit better of a pitch, even just a little bit further, just so that there's a chance she swings on it.
So here comes the 3-2 pitch. She swings and lines that one into center field, a base hit. Dropping in right in front of Lambert, and the line drives for Michigan continue. Their 3rd hit of the inning and their 5th hard contact off Tara Trainer. And this might be the pitching change.
Nemitz is excited, and in fact, what a fantastic at-bat for Nemitz. She had that terrible swing first up, had the conversation with Hutch. She fell into an 0-2 hole, and then fought her way back to a full count, and then made some great contact into center field. 3-2. Hit, and she's on base for the 2nd time.
Yeah, Trainer now is going to hand the ball off the coaching staff. Couple pitchers ran out of the bullpen, and now finally the coaching staff coming out.
It looks like it'll be Gooden going back in.
Yep. Gooden will return to the circle. She gave up 2 in the bottom of the 1st, got yanked. Trainer had an easy 2nd, but then now has really gotten tagged here in the 3rd. We've also got a pinch runner inserted to the game at 1st. Pretty customary for Nemitz to be pinch run. It is going to be, as usual, Grace Schelleman.
Yeah. One thing I love about softball, I saw this yesterday with the Indiana runners, seeing it again here with Schelleman. As Gooden is doing her practice pitches, Schelleman practicing, stealing, and not stealing, getting a lead and coming back, and just absolutely love that. It's just, you know, with the younger players, they don't get to play much, but when they come out, they try and do whatever they can to help the team. As R-E-S-P-E-C-T being played by the band. They have had a fantastic soundtrack today.
Crowd enjoying it as Gooden gets her practice pitches in. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd for those just joining us. 4-2. Michigan over Indiana in Game 3 of a crucial 3-game Big Ten series as Michigan has entered really the crucial 9-game stretch of their season. Indiana, Ohio State, and Illinois.
Yeah, could very well have been 0 outs in a 6-2 game this inning. Just a reminder that those first 2 hits, one fantastic catch by the first baseman, second one off Tara Trainer's face.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate.
And that might be the reason why Tara Trainer is not in the game anymore.
Uden comes in, she swings and misses. Schelleman goes down to 2nd, no one covering, and the throw had to be late as Radcliffe was tardy getting over, and Schelleman in there easily.
Great vision by Schelleman. She noticed that really no one was paying attention to her, so she was just like, okay, if you're not paying attention, I'll take 2nd, and she did it with ease.
The count 0-1 on Maddie Uden. She struck out swinging back in the first off of Gooden, and now Gooden back into the game to face her. 0-1 coming is outside.
Yeah, they're paying a little bit more attention to Schelleman now. The third baseman making sure she's ready in case of another steal. While Hutch is giving her some advice, actually.
Now she's got to be ready, run on contact. 1-1, and Uden swings and hits that one right to second base. A soft tapper to Galovich, and she picks it up out of the air and ends the inning. But Michigan gets 2 back, and they retake a 2-run lead. Our score after 3, 4-2, Michigan over Indiana.
It's pretty funny because every single time Hutch has come out, she's been disappointed, it seems like, at the end of the batter's inning. The reason this time was Grace Schelleman. Right after telling Schelleman, make sure you run all the way on contact, Schelleman saw the contact and ran back to second base. She didn't realize they were 2 outs down already, and a bit of a slumping of the shoulders by Coach Hutch there. And they're making the dirt look pretty this time. Not just hits and pitches, but dirt can look pretty as well.
You know, after 3 innings, grounds crew is out, raking the field. As Michigan practicing their defensive warm-ups here in the bottom of the third, or going to the top of the fourth, rather, after 3 innings of play. Mackenzie Nemitz throws the balls to the outfielders. The infielders throw it around. Storako back out there. It'll be interesting to see how long the leash is for her.
Yeah, a questionably short leash yesterday.
Yeah.
When not allowing a hit through 3 2/3, they decided to send Bobian in, and she allowed 2 home runs. This time, we'll see. She's already allowed 2 runs, Storako has. She's already allowed a home run. So we'll see if she gets into another bind, what Hutch's plan is, if she wants to keep her in or switch to Bobian.
But Bobian really, I mean, she's pretty well rested. She pitched 7 innings on Friday, but then only 3 yesterday, and 14 innings for a weekend's pretty customary, so she could come in at any time. And she didn't pitch at all during the week. Toledo game was all Storako and Schaefer, so Bowian's got a lot in the tank. And with no midweek game this week, she'll be fully rested to get ready for Ohio State. Storako gets ready and delivers a high pop-up into left field. Coming over is Blair at the fence. Did she make that play?
No, I think it was just wide.
Oh, jumping up over the foul fence.
That was very close. And it almost looked like it started off like it was going to stay inside, and then the wind slightly just pushed it further as it got higher. But what that did do is bring my attention to the Indiana bullpen. There's another pitcher in the bullpen.
Yep, someone else getting warmed up. 0-1 the count on Bella Norton. That one from Storako is a strike outside part of the plate and quickly ahead 0-2.
Bella Norton not from the better athletic high school. This high school, my high school, dominated in everything athletically. So
0-2 coming to Norton, high and outside.
Hopefully we don't see a home run the same way we saw from our Marshall girl, Radcliffe.
Well, Norton has 7 doubles, 3 homers, solid power, not a huge threat. And Storako ahead 1-2 definitely wants to coax another K here. 1-2 pitch, swinging a liner back to the screen, a little late on that swing.
Actually, really good contact if, the foul lines didn't exist.
Yep.
Because that had a lot of power coming off the bat, only it went completely sideways. So can't get a hit there in baseball and softball. In my sport of cricket, that would have been a fantastic hit.
So here's the 1-2 to Norton. Oh, just out in front of that one, taps it foul. Barely got a piece as the off-speed.
Yeah, I think that might have clipped the end of the bat.
Yep.
Because that went down and had a wicked spin on it to keep it foul. But pretty lucky to get any contact on that one.
Count 1-2 on Norton. Storako's delivery dives outside. Norton thought about it, but holds off.
Yeah, good vision there. She saw it was outside, leaned with it, but decided not to swing with it. And that's what's important.
So count evens at 2-2. Storako sets. Here's the delivery. That one off speed, and just getting a piece again was Norton.
Yeah, it's a good at-bat for Norton, seeing a lot of pitches, but then again, has not seemed really in control of any of the hits she had, except for the sideways one, which, again, not very helpful in baseball or softball.
2-2 on Bella Norton. Checking the wristband there is Alex Storako. And gets ready to deliver the pitch. Oh, hit her on the back of the leg. And Storako just lost control of that one.
Yeah, very much lost control. That wasn't near the plate. When it hits the back of the leg, you know, Norton didn't even need to really do anything. She just kind of stood there.
We might have a pinch runner or pitch hitter of some kind, because Indiana is having a conversation with the umpire. Yep, it's a pinch runner coming on out as Carol Hutchins goes back out to talk.
And the pinch runner will hold up for a bit because of that conversation. And Bobian's coming out.
Yep, Bobian comes out into the circle, and that's all she wrote. For Alex Storako, she heads to the dugout.
We talked about the short leash yesterday. Kind of a short leash again today, but that was not a very good last pitch to end on.
Yeah, I mean, you get ahead in the count, but it's been struggling to finish off batters these last couple innings, so they got to go right back to Bobian, and she's been pretty darn strong in the 10 innings she's thrown this weekend. Just the 2 homers given up yesterday. She gave up a run on Friday. It was called earned at the time. It was really because of a couple errors, but overall she's been very, very strong. Just needs to keep the ball in the yard.
Yeah, quite frankly, as long as Westmoreland doesn't hit her for a home run, she's been pretty dominant in this series. And just watching her warm up, those pitches have some serious zip on them. And now Can't Touch This is playing. Not the band this time. Mackenzie Uden, a little bit of a dance, and when she hears it. Not the Hammer Time dance, for anyone who was wondering. Infielders just having a wonderful time watching Bobian warm up. That's how much she captures your attention when she's pitching.
Bobian enters the game. It was interesting, after the game yesterday, the players were having some kind of fan engagement thing where they were signing balls, because I saw pictures on Twitter that Bobian signed, and it was Kay Alexander as well, were signing autographs.
Yeah, it was autograph day, actually, in the park yesterday. They mentioned that on the big board.
So Bobian gets ready to go against Sarah Galovich, runner on first, nobody out, 4-2 Michigan in the top of the 4th.
And it's the first non-track stance we've seen by an Indiana base runner.
Yep. That pitch just a tad outside. The pinch runner for Indiana is number 17, Carolyn Kewen.
Yeah. I believe it might be Kuhn.
Kewen is how it's pronounced in the, yeah, it's not like John Kuhn.
John Kuhn, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
1-0 on Galovich. He fouls that one back to the screen.
That's always fun. Whenever he used to make a play in Green Bay, the entire Lambeau Field would just yell, Kuhn.
Yeah.
I thought they were booing for a little bit, and then I was like, oh, wait a second, that's his last name.
Yeah, not too many tricky names on this Indiana team. They only list 3 people on the pronunciation guide. Anika Baez, Carolyn Kewen, and T.T. Hart, the only 3 listed. 1-1 on Galovich. She lays down a bunt. Coming over is Uden. Throw down to first. Canfield covers in a routine out. Moves the runner down to second, but Bobian gets her first out of the top of the 4th.
I mean, that was probably the goal there by Sarah Galovich, just to move Kewen. My mistake for calling you Kuhn the first time. Kewen to second base, and it worked out. Kewen got there with ease, didn't even attempt to throw to second, but Galovich got out at first, and that's what Michigan was looking for.
Katie Lacefield at the plate now. She takes a pitch a little high.
Yeah, Bobian actually did struggle with her control a little bit right after being subbed in yesterday. Doesn't seem to have the same issues today, despite that high pitch.
1-0 coming to Lacefield, swings and fouls it back to the screen, 1-1. I mean, it's never easy to come into the game in the middle of it. I mean, in baseball, a reliever is more used to it because that's kind of their job, and there's just a lot more relievers in baseball.
Yeah.
But softball, I mean, Beaubien starts most of her games, so it is a big change of pace when you come in the middle. And she's had some struggles with it at times this year. A couple really rough outings where she came in relief and couldn't clean things up. To pitch inside 2-1, one against Stanford and one against North Carolina. Those have really bloated her ERA this year. But
that's interesting to think about how there's designated relief pitchers in baseball, and it seems like the relief pitchers in softball are actually the starting pitchers that just aren't starting on the day.
Yeah. Count 2-1 on Lacefield. That one is swung on and lined down the left field line, arcing foul off the screen. I mean, the big thing is that baseball #1, there's more innings. And then #2, baseball pitchers throw way more pitches.
Yep.
And the delivery of the overhand throw is way harder on your elbow.
On the elbow, yep.
In softball. So softball pitchers can go far deeper into games and work a lot more.
I remember a few years ago, I was watching the Women's College World Series.
2-2 just inside.
I was watching the Women's College World Series, and it was an LSU game. And one of my favorites, Allie Waljasper, was pitching. And it went into extras, and she kept pitching and pitching and pitching. And I think she might have hit the 200 pitch count on the day, which is crazy to think about. And then I think she was pitching in relief the next day. I was like, oh my God, how is her arm not dead?
3-2 coming, line drive into center. Moving over is Peters. It's going to be off the wall. Indiana's going to make it 4-3. Throw into second just in time. Katie Lacefield gets a double, and it's 4-3. A really good contact there from Lacefield.
Yeah, similar to yesterday, Beaubien came in and allows good contact, allows a run early. And it's every time Michigan gets the 2-run lead, Indiana comes in, brings it closer again. And as what seems to happen every time Indiana gets a base runner, it is a pinch runner. This time it is going to be Paige Chitwood. She came in yesterday as well for a pinch running situation. Don't think it really led to anything, but we will see that track stance again for Chitwood.
Well, this is a big moment for Indiana. They've got a tying run in scoring position, trying to re-even this game. I think there's definitely a desire to get the run now versus letting Beaubien try and settle in.
I don't know if re-even is a word, but I really enjoyed it. I'm going to use that from now on.
Looks like Michigan baseball just got a big double play to end the inning. Gophers had the bases loaded and nobody out.
Yeah, we heard that.
Wiggled out of it.
Heard that cheer from over here.
So Julia Davis is at the plate now as a pinch hitter for T.T. Hart.
We saw that yesterday as well, actually. I don't know if it was for T.T. Hart, but we did see Julia Davis as a pinch hitter.
Beaubien's pitch is down and away. Struggling to hit the zone right now is Megan Beaubien. 1-0.
And is it even a question? Paige Chitwood in her three-point stance.
Here's the pitch, swinging, popped up down the right field line. Is there room for Hoganrod? No, it just goes past the suite and I believe into the Michigan bullpen down there.
Yeah, near miss number 7, I believe. It's been a while since we've had a near miss. And that one just missed the suite, actually.
1-1 on Julia Davis. Davis is a freshman from Florida, or rather Illinois.
Yeah, Montgomery, Illinois.
Tough to see over there on that scoreboard.
Yeah, through the net.
Yeah, through the netting. 1-1. Oh, that hit her in the shoulder. And the Indiana players very excited about getting a free base runner. The hit by pitch has been a problem for Beaubien this year, which is odd because it really wasn't a year ago. And again, the command is an issue right now for Beaubien. And another conversation. Hutchins goes out there to talk.
Yeah, the entire infield and the pitcher and catcher there. And like we saw yesterday, I've never seen people be so excited to be hit by a pitch.
Indiana definitely is going to take whatever they can get.
I mean, that was on the shoulder, maybe just below the head. She took a pretty quick pitch, too. And she's getting up, clapping, and cheering. That's not the reaction I would have if I got hit on the shoulder by a ball going that fast.
Yeah, I mean, Beaubien throws heat, and that one plunked her right on there.
And the band's got, oh, we're halfway there. I love it, as we are literally 3.5 innings into the game.
Yeah, good timing there. So, here we go. 2 on and only 1 out for Indiana, trailing 4-3 in the top of the 4th. Crucial moment in this game. Taylor Lambert stands at the plate. There's a first pitch strike from Beaubien. Needs to get ahead of these hitters.
Track stands for Julia Davis as well. They both, actually Chitwood and Davis looked identical on that play. They both took a lead, got the slide, ran back. It was pretty funny to watch.
0-1 on Taylor Lambert. Beaubien puts the ball in the glove, delivers that pitch a little high.
Seen a lot of those high pitches coming out of Beaubien's hand today. As we talked about, struggling a little bit for control. Hit a batter already, allowed a hit and RBI already.
Count is 1-1 on Lambert. That one high, 2-1.
Again high. That's pretty much where she's been missing the entire time so far.
Indiana 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Michigan 2 for 4. Indiana 2 for 6 with runners on base. Michigan 3 for 6. It's been a pretty even game thus far.
But in everything, Michigan's just like 1 ahead, and that is the
scoreline.
scoreline.
That one a little inside on Lambert, and now the count runs to 3-1. Beaubien's got to be careful now.
It's the hitter's count. It's Taylor Lambert. She had a horrible day yesterday, 3 strikeouts. She started much better already with a hit in her first at-bat, and now she's got a hitter's count. What can she do with it?
The 3-1 coming, that one high, and ball 4. So since Beaubien entered the game, bunt, single, double, hit by pitch, and walk, really struggling right now. And Grayson Radcliffe with a single and a homer on the day comes to the plate. Very crucial moment here.
It's very rare that we say Beaubien is struggling after Storako had a lights-out performance, but I don't know if they switched roles or what their plan was, but that is exactly what we're seeing. Beaubien really struggling with control, and now just to make it a little bit harder, it's the girl who had a leadoff hit and a home run against her, my Virginia girl, Grayson Radcliffe, coming with the bases loaded.
First pitch, swinging a line right back to the screen. I mean, Beaubien, these last 2 at-bats have started well, pounding the zone on each of the first pitches of the at-bats, but then in the next 4 pitches in that last at-bat, just unable to find the zone at all.
Yeah, she keeps sneaking high. I'm pretty sure all 3 of her last 3 balls on that one were high.
0-1 on Grayson Radcliffe. Beaubien gets ready to deliver off speed. Great block there by Katie Alexander to get low and smother it.
I guess if there's one positive you can take from that pitch is that the pitch was low, not high that time.
1-1 on Radcliffe. Yeah, it was off speed there and just didn't get enough of it. 1-1 is the count. That one backs her in. Oh, strike at the inside part of the plate. Trying to sell it there was Grayson Radcliffe by backing away, and very quickly up with the right arm was Naomi Erdahl. So now 1-2. This is a huge opportunity for a strikeout for Megan Beaubien.
Yeah, I saw Radcliffe back away and thought for sure it'd be a ball inside, and then Erdahl's fist went up. Just kidding.
Count is 1-2. Beaubien sets, delivers. The off-speed floats high. Tries to seduce the swing, but she just doesn't really have the feel for that off-speed pitch right now.
For those wondering, Taylor Lambert is in her 3-point track stance.
Runners on first, second, and third.
A strikeout would be absolutely crucial for Beaubien right now.
The 2-2 coming. Swing and a pop-up. Arcing foul. Is there room for Alexander? No, just off the netting. A little bit out of her reach.
That was actually high as well.
Yeah.
So pretty much every pitch, it seems like, that, especially the fastballs, have been sneaking high. We saw a low off-speed on this one, but we also saw high off-speed in this at-bat. So a lot of pitches sneaking high as the sun sneaks out finally. It's been a while.
Yeah. 2-2 on Radcliffe. Beaubien And sets, delivers the pitch, swing, and a foul back to the screen. Radcliffe is battling. These are the big moments of the games because you've got the bases loaded, nowhere to put a runner, and a 2-2 count. Radcliffe with the power she has, 6 doubles, 2 triples, 6 home runs. You don't really want to pound the zone and risk a big hit here, but you also can't really...
Second consecutive big hit from Radcliffe.
You can't really also hit the edges either and risk a walk. The 2-2 coming, swing and a liner, foul. Is there room for subject? No, it drops into the lap of a couple folks behind the screen as it just tucked over the screen. Radcliffe has been very late on a lot of these swings, just lucky to make contact there.
Yeah, that one went off the top of the net, and it'll be near miss number 8 as the usher comes and grabs that ball, almost going directly in our direction off the bat.
Yeah. 2-2 coming again, swinging a ground ball, base hit into left field, and missing it is Lexi Blair. It's going to run all the way to the wall. 3 runs will score, and it'll going into third base. There is Grayson Radcliffe. A huge error off a solid single that then rolled away and to the wall as Blair was coming up ready to make the throw home, and she lifted the glove up way too early and it rolled under the glove.
Yeah, it was most definitely going to be 1, probably going to be 2, but Blair was going to try and make a play at the plate. But now it's 3 with a runner on third and only 1 out. Michigan falls behind for, I believe, the first time in this series.
They were behind 1-0 very briefly.
Yeah, you were right. They were behind
Friday.
in Indiana, so first time in a while in the series, I should say. And
so here's Gabby Jenkins. It's 6-4 Indiana right now. It'll go down as a single E7. And Jenkins takes strike 1 from Bovian. Once again, Bovian getting ahead of the hitters, but then just struggling to put them away. Missed with her pitches in the previous at-bat, and then that one goes to 2-2. A lot of fouls, and then gives up really good contact into left field.
Yeah, Storako was actually struggling with the same thing, putting away the hitters, and that's why she got subbed out in the first place, and now the Indiana coach is having a discussion with the home plate umpire.
Yeah, they're trying to get some more softballs, I believe was the initial thing, and now there's a talk about something.
Yeah, that long conversation's over. Still not quite sure what it was about, since it seems like Radcliffe is still on third, so it wasn't about a pinch runner. And they're ready for play again.
Here we go, 0-1 pitch. That one is just a little low to Jenkins.
Alexander tried to frame it, couldn't fool the umpire that time.
Count 1-1. Bovian looks in there and delivers the pitch. Bunt laid down. It's a beauty. Alexander's got to throw down, doesn't have time, and the runner is safe at first. Well, it's an issue there because, number one, that was a unbelievably great bunt. That thing went down and just died right in front of first base.
I have never
right
seen
from the plate, rather.
a prettier bunt in my life. That literally dropped and didn't move. You thought maybe with the spin it would go. No, it didn't move. And then the fielders all converged. Alexander had to pick it up and make sure the third base runner didn't move. And by the time she threw the first, Jenkins had already gotten there. And now it's still 1 out. Runners on the corners. This could be a very dangerous inning for Michigan.
So up to the plate now. And the first pitch is in the dirt, going down to second without a play there. And they throw down to third. Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
Just getting in there is Grayson Radcliffe as Jenkins took off for second. Alexander realized she had no play as that pitch was in the dirt.
Yeah, Jenkins took off very quickly, saw that it was in the dirt. Great play by her. But Alexander nearly with the heads-up play to get Radcliffe at third. And now here's the scary part. Bobian versus Westmoreland.
Runners on second and third, 1 out. Maddie Westmoreland at the plate. The 1-0 coming. She lays down a bunt that will roll foul.
Wow, foul, just barely.
Just barely foul. That was a very dangerous decision by Alex Subject.
And the Indiana first base coach is very angry about it and has to be
escorted back.
Wow. I've never seen a first base umpire get that scared. And now the Indiana
coach from third base is coming over to talk about it.
Bit of a heated discussion with the home plate umpire.
Yeah, throw her out. I mean, you know, there's nothing you're going to change it at this point, and
I don't really know what Subject was doing. That was rolling foul from the start. I don't know why she picked it up when it was close.
I mean, because that's the thing. In that situation with the runner coming down the third baseline, she has no play at the plate.
No, not at
Her
all.
only hope is that that thing goes foul. There is no reason to pick it up until it's clearly foul.
Yeah, very lucky that, honestly, she couldn't pick it up in time, which is normally a bad thing, but in this time it was a good thing. Maybe not for the Indiana coaches. They seemingly both almost got themselves ejected.
So the count 1-1 on Westmoreland. This has been a wild inning so far. She takes that one outside as it looks like Michigan is going to be intentionally walking her. They want no part of Maddie Westmoreland.
Not after yesterday. 2 home runs against Beaubien.
And outside for ball 3. And then the last one will plant Westmoreland down there at first base.
That's going to be scary. We just saw what a bases loaded with 1-out situation will do when 3 runs were batted in on that single plus an error. So now to see the exact same situation, not the greatest thing for Michigan right now as Beaubien staying in. I don't know if we see any action in the Michigan bullpen.
No, I don't. I mean, there's not a lot you could do here other than you can put Stracco back in. Schaefer is not a viable option in this situation.
No, definitely not.
So Michigan's just trying to ride with Beaubien. I mean, they just need her to get out of the inning. As a recap, a hit by pitch by Stracco. That was the hook. A bunt single got her down to second. Then a double from Katie Lacefield. A hit by pitch on Davis. Lambert draws a walk. Radcliffe with a single E7 clears the bases and gets her to third. Jenkins, a beautiful bunt single, and then now the Westmoreland intentional walk gets the bases loaded once again. Indiana's already gotten 4 runs in this 4th inning.
And Carly Combs will come in as a pinch runner now for Westmoreland.
Combs at first. Jenkins at second, Radcliffe at third. Baez stands there and swings, lines it back to the screen. Up there swinging away.
Combs was in a track stance for anyone wondering. Another 0-1 count for Beaubien. We've seen that on pretty much every batter this inning, and only 1 out. Just cannot close out any at-bat, it seems like.
0-1 pitch is a little high.
Beaubien, Alexander looking into the dugout a lot this inning, looking at the wristband a lot. Michigan trying to really do anything to get this inning over with.
1-1 count on Anika Baez. Here's the pitch. Outside part of the plate, but just a little off, I guess. 2-1.
And they look into the dugout again.
Well, certainly Jennifer Brundage with her hands on the steering wheel right now, trying to guide this at-bat. 2-1 is the count. That one is swung on and tapped foul, and now the count runs 2-2. Beaubien needs the strikeout here.
Absolutely. If this ball goes into play and anywhere other than a catch by a fielder, that's another RBI. Even in fact, actually, if it goes into the deep for the outfielder, it'll probably be a sac fly and an RBI. So
yeah,
you really need a strikeout in this situation.
So 2-2. Beaubien sets. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 there.
Absolutely crucial. We haven't had a strikeout in a while. Finally, we are going to add a 6th clip on this fence. And wow, she needed that. Maybe that'll give her the confidence she needs. That'll help her with her control. That'll help everything. You know, something as small as that one pitch could be the difference in a few more runs coming in this inning or maybe the end of the inning.
So here's Bella Norton with bases loaded and 2 outs. Bobian delivers that one just a little high.
That was
squeezed
close.
her there. 1-0 the count. Michigan, if they can get out of the inning with only the 2-run deficit, that would be big and send the hitters back up there. 1-0 coming to Norton, swing and foul it back, and now the count 1-1.
And the Indiana dugout, they finally have a lead to be excited about, and they are very excited.
1-1 count to Norton, off speed, just a little high.
Couple really close pitches here in this at-bat.
Well, Norton at only 5'3", he's got the smaller strike zone, which makes it tougher if you're a pitcher to try and deal with.
True.
So 2-1 coming to Norton. She swings, ground ball to second. Canfield flip over to first. That ends the inning. So a really tough defensive miscue and left gives Indiana a 6-4 lead in the top of the 4th. But Bobian is able to battle through it. And Michigan still's got plenty of time. They've got 4 more innings to try and make up 2-run deficit.
Yeah, very good job by Bobian. Fight back, get the strikeout, get the out, get the final out, and finish off the inning with just a 2-run deficit after the difficulty that came with both the big hits and then the error, which didn't help anything. Yeah, the Michigan team and coaching staff all in a big huddle now, while the Indiana players all warm up. And there's the cha-cha slide playing over the loudspeaker. Anyone can actually dance to this one because it tells you exactly how to dance to this one.
Yeah, fans pretty into it. Michigan to begin this bottom of the 4th. We'll have Hoganrod, Alexander, and Natalia Rodriguez, 7, 8, 9. We have some more Alex Subject trivia.
Oh, I'm excited.
There, you've got another question for a prize pack on the line.
Here we go.
Question is, what is Alex short for? Alexa, Alexis, or Alexandria? Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a fantastic question.
I think Alexa would be my guess.
No, it doesn't sound like it according to this crowd. I haven't heard a single A yet.
Well, she won. I don't know what the correct answer was.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
We can look it up.
The crowd seemed to be yelling seed the entire time.
It is Alexandria.
Alexandria. So she listened to the crowd, as our fellow broadcaster Lucas Vargas found out at a baseball game. Listening to the crowd is a good idea. They tend to know the answer.
So here we go. Bottom of the inning. It is Emily Gooden back out there.
Yeah, still see 2 pitchers in the Indiana bullpen, despite it being Gooden again.
0-1 is the count, as that one is called strike. I mean, Michigan, with the success they've had offensively today, definitely have the capacity to make this up, as Hoganrod foul tips it off the dirt and then back to the screen. 0-2 very quickly on her.
Yeah, absolutely. Subject in particular has had a fantastic day, but quite frankly, it's been a good. You can't score 4 runs without multiple people having good days, you know?
Yep.
So they definitely have a chance in this game. They just got to pretend like that last half inning didn't happen.
0-2 coming to Hoganrod. That one bounces in from Gooden. Yeah, Michigan, I mean, overall, you look at on the weekend, Gooden has pitched 5 1/3 innings and 8 hits in that span and 6 runs. So the success Michigan has had against Gooden leads you to believe there's more in store. 1-2 coming to Hoganrod is high, and the count goes to 2-2.
Yeah, no, I believe they have a chance against the pitchers. They've taken Tara Trainer out of the game because of their hitting. They've taken Gooden out of the game once already because of their hitting.
2-2 coming. Hoganrod hits that one to short. Gonna have to be a quick play for Radcliffe, and she's able to make it. 1 out in the inning. So Alexander will come up now. She is 0 for 1 on the day.
Yeah, we talked about Alexander seemingly been in a prolonged slump for a bit of time now, but Hutch is going to have a discussion with the umpire before Alexander comes up. The reason being, I'm not sure.
Oh, we got a pinch hitter. It's going to be Lou Allen coming to the plate now. Only, I believe, think about the 6th or 7th at-bat of the year for Allen. She did get an at-bat against Toledo the other day after the really crushing knee injury to start the season after a knee injury last year. She came in last season as one of the most heralded recruits in the country, but her career at Michigan has just never been able to get off the ground because of those injuries. Finally back up to speed now, and she takes the first pitch for a called strike.
It's funny, we talked about earlier how whenever Green Bay would yell for John Kuhn, it sounded like they were booing. We heard a little bit of that just now. They were yelling for Lou, and it sounded a little bit like booing, but no, just the Michigan faithful.
0-1 to Allen is a little high, 1-1. Allen, 6 plate appearances on the year, 0 for 3, but with 3 walks. 1-1 the count. She's a little bit shorter in stature, so the smaller strike zone, that one is looped foul, and it'll just drop about 5 feet into foul territory. So now the count 1-2. Allen's one of those players that with the potential she had coming out of high school, you really believe she could be a superstar. Just needs a full off season of health to really get up to it. They'll take anything they can get from her this year. 1-2, she swings, hits that one softly into center field. Coming on easily to make the play is Taylor Lampert, and there are 2 outs.
Yeah, that one looped in the air way longer than she was hoping for. Like you said, with Allen, she could be great. Some of those players, you just feel like, are they cursed? Like, how do they keep getting injured like that and keep getting major injuries? If Allen stays healthy, she is one to look out for the future for sure.
So here's Natalia Rodriguez with 2 outs in the inning. She struck out swinging her last time up. That was against Trainers. This is her first time seeing Gooden today. She takes that one for a called strike.
Yeah, Michigan batters falling behind with the first pitch strike every single at-bat so far. In this inning anyways.
0-1, Gooden delivers, and Rodriguez swings and misses.
Huge swing there. Hutch doesn't look happy.
So Rodriguez steps back in, taps the plate once, puts the bat over the right shoulder. She swings and taps that one into foul territory and stays alive.
Man, she's going for it. I don't know if that's her best play, considering she doesn't seem to be the biggest of power hitters.
0-2 the count. Rodriguez takes that one in the dirt, skipped in to home plate.
And there'll be a meeting. It'll be at the mound this time. The Indiana pitching coach, as well as the head coach, talking with the infielders, I believe.
Yeah, they send 2 coaches out there a lot.
Absolutely. I think Hutch might appreciate this, honestly. I think she wants to have a discussion with Rodriguez.
Yep.
Rodriguez swung at a lot of those pitches when she probably shouldn't have. So, we'll see. We'll see what Rodriguez can do now. Already in a 1-2 hole with 2 outs in this inning.
We have the Go Blue chant starting from the Michigan dugout on the first base line.
Yep, can hear them.
Count 1-2 on Natalia Rodriguez.
Indiana trying to do the exact opposite, trying to get I don't know if they do go red and go white over there, but they seem to be doing it in the same rhythm as Go Blue, but saying something else.
1-2 the count. Gooden gets ready. winds up and delivers the pitch. Rodriguez shows bunt and pulls it back. Count evens at 2-2.
The Indiana dugout was saying I-U,
Yeah.
I-U, as we were saying go blue, go blue.
Yeah. Gooden gets ready to deliver this offering. Puts the ball down, and then Rodriguez lays down that bunt. Oh, what a beauty, but made perfectly there by Norton. That one, I mean, that was laid down perfectly, but it just was right in front of Norton, so she was able to make the easy play. We go to the top of the 5th, Indiana 6, Michigan 4. It's been a wild game, a long game too, already 2:40 p.m.
Wow. Yeah, no, that one, that bunt, it wasn't as pretty as we've seen because it came a little too close to the catcher. Catcher was able to get to it pretty quickly, make an easy play, and Rodriguez has wheels, so that means she got to it very quickly. As there's a video on Alex Subject coming on the big board on Alex Subject Day.
So, Beaubien back out there. She looks to get a much quicker inning here in the 5th. The big key to a Michigan comeback is being able to hold the Indiana lead to just 2 runs. There's a big difference in comebacks between 2 runs down and 5 or 6.
Yeah, absolutely. With it just being 2 runs, I still think Michigan has a very good chance in this game.
Yeah.
The more that lead gets, the less and less Michigan's chances get. It's going to be very tough against this pitching staff to get really anything more than 2 runs, as we see by all the 2s Michigan has on the board so far.
Baseball continues to lead Minnesota 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th now.
As the alumni band playing Hail to the Victors. Tell you what, I don't know about Beaubien or Starocco, but the alumni band has been on absolute fire today.
They've been good. They don't come out here all that often, but they've definitely been strong today.
Galovich up to bat this time.
And the first pitch from Beaubien dives out of the zone away.
Maybe that's a good thing. She went 0-1 so far in pretty much all of the at-bats last inning, and it didn't go well. So maybe a 1-0 is what she needs.
1-0 count. Beaubien gets ready, swinging a foul back to the screen. 1-1.
It looked high and inside. It cramped Galovich for room a little bit, but she still swung. Swung. She still swung, and it was fouled back into the net.
So count evens at 1 apiece. That pitch is grounded to short. Got to be a quick play for Rodriguez. She just does make the throw across for the first out.
Yeah, very good play by Rodriguez. It was taking its time getting out there to short. She's pretty far back, almost a step in from the grass. So she did a good job running, getting to it, getting it in her glove, and throwing it across the diamond, getting that first out quickly, which is important.
So 1 out for Katie Lacefield. Definitely big to get the first out of the inning. And that one skips in. Yeah, the off-speed for Beaubien just hasn't been there this afternoon.
Yeah, I don't know if she has a single off-speed strike the way she's going. And that makes it tough because that fastball has been rising a lot, so she doesn't have that go-to pitch that she can throw in and know this is going to be a strike no matter what.
Count 1-0 on Lacefield. Swings and loops that one into right field. A bloop single there as Lacefield gets just enough of it.
Yeah, nothing much to speak about on the hit other than it landed in the right place. You know,
Yeah.
but sometimes that's all you need to do. Like you said, a bloop single for sure.
Well, that's been the struggle this afternoon for Beaubien, giving up some tough hits that are finding the holes. So now it is Davis to the plate. Davis swings and misses there on the first pitch, 0-1. Lacefield at first. Defense playing straight up. Runner on first, 1 out in the inning. Top of the 5th, Indiana leading by 2. Davis lays that one down foul. As over at baseball, it is Jack Blomgren who homered. Jimmy Kerr comes around to score, and they've taken a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, like I said, every time I seem to be here for softball, baseball hits a home run. They hit 2 today, so that's exciting.
0-2 on Davis. Swung on an arced foul. It's going to go off the roof right in front of us. Oh, and then it drops into the bullpen where some folks have congregated.
Near miss number 9, I believe. It's been a while since we've had a near miss.
So the count 0-2. See what Bovian can dial up to Barry Davis here. That one off speed. Got her.
Finally.
Yeah, there's the off speed freeze right there. And now 2 outs in the inning.
And I think Bovian's confidence is going up for sure. She got that strikeout last inning. She got the quick out after that. She got a quick out to start this inning, and now the off-speed finally goes in for a strike, and not just any strike, strike 3, everyone's favorite kind of strike, as the 7th clip goes on the fence.
Bovian battles Taylor Lambert. Shallow fly ball to center. Coming on is Peters. She makes the play, and Bovian works around a soft single to get a pretty fast inning, send the bats back up there. It's the top of the order to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Indiana 6, Michigan 4.
That's the Bovian inning we're used to seeing. Very quick, with the exception of the bloop single, which also came quick into the count. It was pretty perfect. That's what you can hope for. And that last shot never had the legs at all. And just for good measure, it hung up in the air. Pretty easy play for the center fielder. As it's another huddle for Michigan prior to their batting time.
Yeah, they gotta dial it up, find a big play, make the comeback here, down 2 runs. They've got trying to get 2 runs before 9 outs can be recorded, as there are 3 chances remaining for the home team, Michigan.
And over here we got the 5th inning recharge, as they call it. The closest things you got to a 7th inning stretch.
It'll be Canfield, Peters, and Blair coming up in the inning. Emily Gooden still out there, 2 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 strikeout so far today. She handled the first inning, ran into trouble, was pulled, then came back in relief of Trainer.
Yeah, actually, Gooden's been fantastic since coming back and replacing Trainer. It seemed like it was going to be a tough day for Indiana when Gooden struggled early in the first. Trainer had that shot off her face and began to struggle in the 3rd. And then Gooden came back in for, I guess, a relief appearance this time in a game she started. Another interesting quirk of the softball pitching rules. And has been fantastic since she's come back.
Well, she's now facing the teeth of the order. She so far had faced Uden, Hoganrod, Alexander Rodriguez. Now she's got to deal with this top of the order once again. It was a quick middle of the 5th inning break. Did not use nearly all the time needed. And then Canfield lines that one right off the screen. That was coming towards us.
That was fantastic speed and a massive bounce because it went straight into the ground.
Yeah, pretty hard to get foul balls where we are because we're under the overhang. And the net protects any line drives coming this way.
It would need to be an absolutely perfect shot to get where we are.
0-1 the count on Canfield. That one called strike, outside corner. Gooden's command's been pretty strong so far. It's been the contact that's more of the issue as she gets ahead of Canfield 0-2. Gooden sets. Here's the pitch in the dirt. Easy take for Faith.
Yeah. Not exactly difficult when you see it land in front of the home plate in the dirt. If you swing on that, you deserve to be struck out.
1-2 coming. Canfield clubs that one into shallow right field, but hauled in by Galovich.
Honestly, pretty much the exact same contact we saw the top half of the inning, where it blooped for a single for Indiana. Except this time it was more where the second baseman is already standing, and she only needs to take a few steps back for an easy catch.
Well, and Canfield's really struggled this weekend against Gooden. That's now 0 for 6 for her against Gooden. Peters comes to the plate now. She's 1 for 2 on the day, having a tremendous weekend, and she takes the first pitch for a ball.
Yeah, Peters, last time we saw her take a lot of time in between pitches, and it worked out. She got a hit. She seems to be doing the same thing here, taking her time, leaving the box, getting some practice swings, putting her hand up, and then going back in the box.
1-0 on Peters, and that one is down in the zone, 2-0.
Peters count as you hear the dugout. Michigan dugout very loud. One of my favorite parts about softball, hearing the team being so excited for their teammates.
2-0 on Peters, just a little low, and now the count 3-0. Peters trying to draw a walk. She has 11 of those on the season.
Boy, I wonder if she's going to swing on the next pitch.
Yeah. Three-0 count. Gooden sets and delivers a strike.
And perhaps the least shocking development in Michigan softball history, Natalie Peters did not swing on a 3-0 count.